What up, guys? So I noticed when I was just reading some like motorcycle industry publication headlines, a lot of people are talking about how the Livewire, it's not actually selling that well, but what gets me is people are acting surprised by this. This should not come as a surprise. I think anybody who really understood what was going on knew that this was not going to be like a sales volume leader, but that's okay. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about why the Livewire isn't selling, why that's actually okay, and I'm going to make 3 predictions about the future of the Harley-Davidson Livewire and the future of Harley-Davidson in the next 3-ish years. So step 1, I want to take it back to the very start of 2019 when there was all of this buzz in the media about this was a year that Harley-Davidson was going to go from having a project Livewire to an actual on-the-road Livewire that you could pre-order and buy, and it would be their first electric motorcycle, and it was going to totally turn the whole brand's results upside down, and everything was going to be great. See, the whole idea was that Harley was going to have this bike, and they were going to sell it to young, affluent, brand new motorcyclists. In other words, people who just were getting into motorcycles and were making like $100,000 plus. The thing is that I haven't actually met any that are making $100,000 plus, and I'm sure they're out there, but they're probably not in that young demographic. See, the Livewire is priced at $29,800 plus licensing fees, plus dealer fees, and plus government taxes. Or like 10% more, you could just have an electric Tesla Model 3. That's kind of a hard sell. With Harley though, it's really been a case of the more things change, the more they stay the same. See, the whole idea, they pitch this as, we're gonna have these young, brand new riders with tons of money to spend on these electric motorcycles because everything's gonna be green friendly in the future, and look at us, we're so innovative, and we're gonna have all these trendsetters, we're going to embrace this new technology that we're offering, blah, blah, blah. But the reality has been really different. When I talk to people who do work at these dealers that carry the Livewire, what they're saying is the people who are actually pre-ordering and buying these things, first of all, they're few and far between, whatever that is. And secondly, it's never a new young rider, it's almost always a old experienced rider who's actually buying the Livewire. So very different. In fact, industry analysts have said they expect the Livewire to account for only 1% of Harley's overall vehicle sales. Before I get into that though, I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of the dealer's perspective, because I've said to you that not all dealers are carrying the Livewire, and that's because it requires a level 3 charging system is what it's called, and that's a significant infrastructure investment, like financial costs, as well as just having that space allotted to it. And Harley-Davidson will not actually permit you, if you're a Harley dealer, to sell the Livewire unless you have that infrastructure in place to support your customer base. I was talking to someone who was out in Pennsylvania, and he said that the cost of, they looked at the ROI, they kind of did an estimate of what they thought demand would be for the Livewire in their area, looked at what the investment was going to be in terms of financial, in terms of space in the lot, etc. And they just said, to hell with it, we're not going to carry that. Another reason that dealers might not be so hot for the Livewire is because Harley has made it pretty clear, from my understanding, that they are not going to be offering any kind of financial discounts. That would typically be, like a year-end clearance, $1,000 off, something like that. They don't want the Livewire to be a markdown kind of bike. So now that you have all the background, I'm going to give you guys 3 predictions about where the Livewire is going in the future and where Harley-Davidson is going in the future. And in the future, I mean like the next 3-ish years. Prediction 1, Harley is going to be following Tesla's example. And what I mean by that is, about 5 years ago, if you wanted to buy a Tesla, you were going to be handing over about $100,000. Here we are in 2019, end of 2019, and you can get a Tesla Model 3 for like $30,000, $35,000. So what Tesla's done is they started off with this basically flagship model, and then they introduced more affordable, cheaper models down the road. I think that's what Harley-Davidson is doing, where they're going to have the top tier flagship Livewire, and then they're going to be going and offering new introductions from there. And there's some supportive evidence to this. Harley said that one of their intentions was to offer, I think, 3 or 4 more, not just electric motorcycles, but also electric bicycles over the next, whenever that came out, and 2022. So we have like 1 of 4 or 1 of 5 electric vehicles out there. I think that that's going to be sort of the flagship benchmark, and then they're going to be offering more economical alternatives further down the road. Prediction 2, Harley-Davidson will not be discounting the Livewire, but I think that they're going to be finding creative ways to incentivize customers. So what that means is they don't want to outright bring down the price tag on that thing. They don't want to cheapen the Livewire name. So what they're going to do instead is they're going to find ways to make it more affordable to you in other ways. One thing that they're currently doing is they have, I think, some sort of plan where if you buy a new Livewire, you get 500 kilowatt hours of free charging, which they say is equal to about 2 years worth of riding for free. So you're not having to pay any additional electrical bills charging up at your own house. You can just kind of charge it up at these stations. But it could be even something like maintenance deals, like free maintenance for the first X amount of time, or, you know, buy this bike, get $500 or $1,000 of in-store credits put towards parts and upgrades and gear and branded crap and all that stuff. So yeah, prediction 2, they're going to find ways to incentivize customers to buy the Livewire, but not necessarily to mark down the Livewire. Prediction 3, the Harley-Davidson Livewire is going to sell more Harley-Davidsons to young riders, but not more Harley-Davidson Livewires. So what I mean by that is right now we've sort of been tackling this question of, but will young people buy it? And the answer is no. But what we need to think about in our heads is not, will young people buy it? What we need to think about is, will this make that affluent, green-friendly, younger crowd just getting into motorcycles consider Harley-Davidson more? Would it make them more interested in the brand? Would it make them more likely to purchase the brand? Would it change how they feel about the brand? And I think that in all of those areas, the Livewire is going to affect all of those people in a positive way. If you're green friendly, you're like, Harley's doing something electric. This is really cool, because maybe you're new to riding. You don't know that Zero's been doing it for like 10 years or whatever before now. If you're somebody who's very affluent and you are looking at forums or talk to people and everyone's saying, oh, Harley Davidson, that's all, you know, old man bikes with old man tech. And you're seeing that, no, there's this counter argument that Harley's doing something really cool, and look how freaking fly this bike looks, and it's like all electric and it's really sweet. That's going to kind of counteract that a little bit. The Livewire will sell more Harley Davidsons, but it won't necessarily sell more Livewires. Closing thoughts, I actually like the Livewire a lot. I think it's really cool. I had the opportunity to work really close with one of the engineers who actually was like part of like the Project Livewire team for a couple weeks when I used to work for Harley Davidson myself. And I also, I think I'll post up a picture. Here's me with Ryan F9 from Fort 9. They got a really cool YouTube channel too. Checking out the Livewire. I think I was kind of giving them some instructions on it a few years back. So it's a vehicle that's really close to my heart. It's one that I hope does well. I hope it does well for the brand. I know it was never designed to be a sales volume leader. I know it was designed for the positive PR. It was designed to be a showcase piece. It was designed to get eyes on the product, to change the way people perceive the brand, to bring more interest into the brand, and to change that perception of it. And I think in that sense, the Livewire is going to be really successful, and I know that it already has. If you guys have any questions about the Livewire, please leave them in the comments down below. Do you think it's really going to sell? Personally, I don't. I don't think that price point and that demographic really crosses very much. I think it's a very, very, very small niche. I think that it will sell to existing experienced riders, not necessarily to new ones just entering the sport, but that's okay. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It always makes my day when somebody subscribes, because I kind of check that counter every few days. It's cool to see when it's gone up. I try and post videos about motorcycle news or reviews or how-tos, all of the ooze. All of the use, I guess that's why it's called e-motorcycle. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much, guys. I will stop rambling. Peace, ride safe, have fun. Later.